Good morning. This is Terry QT with Deep Sea Foundation. It really is me, and I'm a little sick this morning, so excuse my smoky bar voice. I wanted the viewers to see this video this morning. I am with my friend, an amazing patient advocate, Kirstin Litz, and we're going to have just a very organic chat this morning about our experience at Plastic Surgery, the meeting. Good morning, Kirstin.
Good morning, Terry. I'm sorry you're sick.
Thanks for bringing coffee.
You are very welcome. You know, when I sent the text this morning after you asked for the croissant, and I said, that's what patient advocates do. We take care of each other. It's just one of the many things that we do for each other.
Yeah, this has been an amazing experience, and so that's why I wanted to make this video, because before we went to this, there was a lot of social media pictures pushed out expressing our excitement to go, and it was absolutely everything I expected and more, and we're going to talk about that. But we also got questions, both of us did, Kirstin, saying, gosh, how can we go to the meeting? And I think it's those pictures and that excitement that we expressed. How can I be a patient advocate? How can I go to the meeting? We want that for those of you that are truly passionate and focused in your message. So that's what we want to talk about this morning. How do you become a patient advocate? What do we do? And what does it mean to go to a conference like this, specifically Plastic Surgery Meeting in Chicago, better known as hashtag PSTM18. Yes, it is early in the morning and we're catching a flight soon to go back home to our real lives. Patient advocacy is our real lives. I don't know why I just said that.
Well,
it's what we do.
Exactly.
So, you know, the pictures are fun. We do have a great time when we're here. We do socialize. My patient advocacy started after an event in my life, and it was my second breast cancer diagnosis, and I wanted to begin to share my message. So I did that by starting a blog. I knew nothing about WordPress. I knew nothing about social media. So you just forge ahead, and you do that by watching YouTube videos, by attending classes, and by asking friends to help. And some of my friends have been other patient advocates like Kirstin. Some of them have been amazing surgeons in the plastic surgery community. My own surgeon, Dr. Manosker Sopolo. I could go down the list today of the amazing doctors that I met this weekend. And I opened my foundation after that. And so we just seek opportunities to serve our community, but it's not always fun and glamour like the pictures show. And so we want to talk to you guys about that today. And Kirstin, I want you to tell me, because this was your first plastic surgery, the meeting, what did it mean to you? What was your feel and takeaway from this meeting?
It was an amazing experience.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated that I was treated like an equal by everyone I was introduced to. It was first name basis. There wasn't Dr. So-and-so. So I felt very much at home. I attended a few sessions that I actually got up to ask questions because I wanted to know the answer. It wasn't just, I want to do it because I'm a patient advocate. I want to do it because one was on lymphedema. I suffer from lymphedema. I wanted to know because it's one of these things that isn't expressed and talked about by every surgeon or every oncologist, and it's very, very important and dear to my heart.
And you went with Dr. Daniel Liu.
Yes. I sat right next to Dr. Daniel Liu, and the answer that I got was not what went from the panel I didn't like, so I asked him the same question, and he also didn't agree completely with their answer. And basically it was about whether, if you have lymphedema, if you personally can do lymphedemic drainage massage on yourself. And he agrees that you can. And that's one of the things that I want this dear woman to find someone to do a video with her on, because I think it's helpful to all of us. And I am
I'm
not an
doing it.
expert.
I'm doing it when I fly home
Okay, thank you.
with my physical therapist.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because it's important. The other one session that I attended, I also didn't completely agree with what they said because they were using numbers that when you put them in reality and something that we as patient advocates can understand, they weren't scary. But when they presented just the numbers, they were very scary. And I think they need to know that messaging matters.
Mm-hmm.
And they were willing to listen. They may not have liked it. We got in a little tiff with one doctor, but that's okay.
So what I'm hearing you say is your experience as a breast cancer survivor. Sometimes you have to realize when you go to these conferences as a patient, it becomes a little bit emotional for us because of our experience. And so not only do we want to know about what can help us, but we're kind of serving a community. So we have this wide net that we're serving and we want to help them.
Exactly.
I think one of the things that I noticed too, Kirstin, is that being around these physicians as breast cancer survivors, we know when we're first diagnosed, it's just a heck of a lot of baggage to carry emotionally, with the first diagnosis. When we decide we're going to go through breast reconstruction, we have hundreds of questions that need to be answered. So what we do is we go into an office of a physician, a plastic surgeon, an oncologist, a breast surgeon, who we may never have met in our lives. Difficult for us, right? But what I realized this weekend, more than any other time, I think, when I was talking to these plastic surgeons, is that they have a tremendous amount to deal with because we're on one side of the door. They're on the other side of the door. They may never have seen us before. And before they even turn that knob, they know that there's a patient sitting in that room. And they're not only going to have to deal with the physicality of reconstructing them, they're going to have to deal with all the emotion that comes with it, the family, the recovery, the aesthetic value of all of this. And so I think that was one of the real takeaways for me in this conference. And, I had great conversations with them about their own family. These doctors were going, oh, I just texted my kids this morning and it made me feel so good. I was with Dr. Horton doing a video and her kids FaceTimed her. She's like, hey baby, how you doing? It's so sweet to see that. I had talked to one doctor, that's the maids in the hall and the cleaning crew. Yes, everybody's up this morning. I talked to one doctor. He's going to have a child in a few weeks. To talk to them about the human side, it was awesome. I'm glad you were here this weekend.
Me too.
The two of us want to publicly thank Dr. Chrysopoulou and Dr. Spitani for being on the panel with us.
That was a life-changing experience, and I so honored to be there, to be able to speak as a patient advocate, as the things that I mentioned, it brought back to life that I really did learn about this through my father, and my father taking care of my mother, and that because of that, even before I became a patient advocate, he showed me how, when I go to the doctors, that ask the questions, find the answers, see if there's, you can Google things, but that may not be the best thing to ask them, to physically ask them. Or nowadays you can send emails, which I've done every once in a while, that they're human. My general practitioner and I joke around when I go to see her because we're friends now. She happens to be a doctor, but we're very good friends. And I love that about that. And you create that relationship, that trust. And then you're willing to ask those questions that may be a little difficult, or you can ask questions that other people ask of you, which is another thing that as patient advocates, I often get asked questions I may not know the answer to, but I have a resource that I can turn to and ask. And it's great.
What's our favorite hashtag now? 1, 2, 3.
Shared decision making.
We have a plane to catch.
We do.
And you have to get back to work.
Yes.
I'm flying to Seattle. We have things to do. Guys, ask us if you want to find out about being patient advocates. You know where to find us on social media. Thank you to Plastic Surgery, the meeting. We're coming back to San Diego.
Yes, we will be there.
See you next year.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kirstin.
You're very welcome, Terry.
Let's have some more coffee.
Okay.